All aircraft riveting must be carefully inspected as each section is completed. Damaged or defective rivets must be found and replaced. These rivet heads and the material around them show skilled work. There is no damage. The bucked or formed heads, as well as the manufactured heads, must be carefully checked. Here is a defective bucked head. When this rivet was driven, the bucking bar was not held square. This defective rivet must be removed and replaced without damaging the assembly. To remove the rivet without damaging the parts, it should be drilled out with a drill the same size as the shank of the rivet. Generally, rivets are drilled through the manufactured head. The identification mark in this rivet is in the exact center. Use it as a guide for starting the drill. Turn the drill by hand to get it started. This will prevent it from running off the head and damaging the skin. Operate the drill motor in quick, short bursts. Check to be sure the drill stays in the exact center of the rivet head. When the drill is well started in the exact center, drill through the rivet head. Keep the drill square. This is a cross-section drawing of the defective rivet. The drill is centered and kept absolutely square with the work. The head is drilled out. The drilling should stop at this point. The drill must be exactly the same size as the rivet, so that the heads are completely cut through, but not the skin. The drill must be centered and square to avoid cutting into the material. Use a pin punch and a hammer to remove the rest of the shank and the bucked head. The pin punch should be slightly smaller than the rivet hole. The work must be backed up solidly to prevent damage. The bucking bar should be as close as possible to the rivet, but not close enough to damage the dimple. Strike the punch lightly with a hammer to drive out the shank and bucked head. If the manufactured head does not fall out, remove it with a pin punch. The hole is not damaged, and after cleaning, a new rivet can be driven. After each section of the assembly is completed, the riveting is inspected. These are brazier head rivets. On one, the manufactured head was damaged by the rivet set. The manufactured head is to be drilled out as before. Because the head of the rivet was damaged, the drill must be centered by eye. Start the drill by hand. When the head is damaged like this, it is more difficult to start the drill on center. Start the drill slowly and carefully. The drill may creep away from center in spite of careful starting. This hole is not centered. This must be corrected before the head is drilled out. Tip the drill so it points toward center. Operate the motor in short bursts and work the drill back toward center. As the drill approaches center, square it with the work and keep it square. Here is the corrected hole. Now let's see a second time how the drill is centered. Tip the drill so it points toward the center. Go slow, work toward the center, and tip the drill back up square as you go. The hole is in dead center again. The head can now be drilled off. This is a cross-section drawing of the damaged brazier head rivet. After centering, drill through the manufactured head. Drilling should stop at this point. As before, the drill must be accurately centered and absolutely square to avoid damage. Use a pin punch and hammer to drive out the shank and butt head. Always back up the work solidly. If the head doesn't fall off, remove it with the pin punch. Now the work must be cleaned. The hole is clean and perfectly round with square edges. The surrounding material is not damaged. A new rivet can be driven and inspected. Use a drill the same size as the rivet shank. Start the drill by hand in the center of the rivet head. Be sure the drill is square with the work to keep it centered. If the drill works off-center, bring it back on-center before drilling through the head. Drill through the rivet head to the correct depth. Punch out the shank and bucked head. Remove the rivet head. Avoid damage to the rivet hole and material when removing rivets. Defective rivets must be removed and replaced with care and skill.